YouTube, and welcome to episode 51 of Summer Show. You can hear it's pretty windy. I did just miss my bus. It comes at 21 and I got over at 22, so I literally saw it leave it before my eyes, which sucks, but what can you do? So today I'm going to be hitting a back and bicep workout. I'm not going to be deadlifting, but I'm going to be doing pretty much everything else for my back. So we'll see how well that feels and how good that feels. I'm really just going to play it by ear because back was a little bit sore yesterday. Just want to make sure that nothing goes wrong, nothing hurts. As much as I love deadlifting, I think this is the smarter option. And yeah, so I'm going to be hitting which part of the bicep am I going to hit today? Which one should I hit? I think I'm going to hit the long head. So I'm going to do the outside, the one that makes you look good on shirts. So I'm going to hit that one. Again, going to hit mainly upper back, bit of traps, and yeah, just go from there. So anyway, I'm going to go, and I'll speak to you guys a little bit later. So guys, just finished my workout now. I'm in the gym and recording this because it's pissing it down outside again. Typical as soon as I go outside. Now, I did a lot of back, and especially wide, like that sort of angle pulls, because I usually find that I miss out on it and do a lot more close grip. So I did a lot of that today. However, remind me to hit arms or whatever first, because I just run out of time at the end. So I'm going to have to start remembering to do that. Hit arms first, hit shoulders first. So, because there's not many exercises you need to do for them. They'll also pre-exhaust the muscle ready for when they're trying to support your back, so you'll get your back better and your chest better and things like that. So it might help in the long run. I'm not sure. I'm going to test it out. Remind me to do it. I'm going to hit it for a couple of weeks and see what happens. And hopefully I'll make my arms and shoulders grow too. So I'll speak to you guys. I'm on my way home, just finished work. So I'm going to talk a little bit about muscle fatigue before and after workouts and how it can benefit you. I'm going to get in, get some food, which you probably see me do, and give a little chat on that. So if you're interested in looking at that, stay tuned, and I'll be talking about it in a bit. I just wanted to record outside to show that it was goddamn nice again. So anyway, I'll speak to you guys in a bit. So I'm back. Now that had a really cool fade in there where it was focusing. But anyway, I might be a little bit tired here. I've been up quite some time, as you know. It is, what time is it? It is 18:16. So about 6:15. My body's just adjusting to getting back to this after the weekend and missing a few days. So bear with me when I talk about this. So I might stutter and things, but I'm sure I'll get the point across. Now this morning I said about hitting arms, shoulders and triceps before I even start on the compound movements. Now, pros and cons to this. But before I do the pros and cons, as I said, I'm tired, I'm going to explain what I mean. So, let's go with, I know everyone's favourite, the bench press. And it's the easiest one to target because it's easier to understand. So when you're bench pressing, you press and you lock out your triceps, right? So you press with your chest until about there, and that's when your triceps take over. Until about, it differs on each person, but it really depends on the person. But your triceps will have a form of in the lift itself, so they'll help your chest, your lats, and your triceps will all be involved in that exercise. Now, what you can do is by doing, I don't know, let's say lat pull downs, and by doing some inner head tricep work, so that one there, but doing some tricep work on the inner head. I can't remember the scientific name, but it doesn't matter because you know what I'm talking about. By doing some work on those, or just in your triceps in general, you are then going to be able to focus more of the contraction on your chest, because your chest is going to be doing more of the work. Your body's going to say, okay, these are already tired, so I'm going to use this one to get the full benefit and push this weight. So, two things about this technique. One, you get a better chest exercise. Two, you can't shift as much weight. Now you've got to remember this when loading up the bar or whenever doing whatever. So whenever you pick up the dumbbells and say for example you do 20 kilo dumbbell press, and that's a bit of a struggle for 8 for you, but you do it because it's a good struggle. So you do it to 4 sets of 8, good, and you can do that just. So it's a struggle, you're shaking on the last rep on each one of them. You will not be able to hit 8 reps on each one of them, simply because your triceps, which are part of the pushing movement, and if you've done some lat pull downs as well, your lats will also be fatigued. So you probably maybe only be able to get 5 or 6 out. Or vice versa, you will have to go down to 18s and do 8 reps. Depending on what you want to do, depending on whether you want to go for more of a strength side of things or you want just a bigger overall chest. So by doing this, you're also going to make your arms, say for example your triceps, you're going to make your triceps grow a little bit more, because what you're doing is you're fatiguing them, you're doing your full workout on them, then they're going to be there supporting afterwards. So time under tension, all that work that you just put in is then going to be added to by not working them directly. I personally don't play around with that too much. I've always done the compound and the harder workout. So for example chest and tries, chest is going to be the harder workout. So I would always do the harder workout first and then the secondary, because I've already weakened it, so I don't have to do as much to get a decent pump, which is another way around to do it. However, I feel that I want my arms to grow, especially with my back. My back is one of my better points, which I've noticed over the last couple of days. So by doing biceps before back, because when you're doing a back workout, it is probably even better to fatigue your biceps even before even doing lat pull downs, because that movement there is going to be, that's already clenched up my bicep. So that movement there, by getting your elbows deep, you're going to put strain on your biceps. So getting deep into the lat pull down, you'll then be able to focus more on your back. So As I say, it's really good if you want to work on the contraction side of things, which for anyone that's trying to build muscle or trying to tone, I hate the word tone, but I'm going to use it here. For anyone that's trying to tone up the muscle, you're probably better off doing that. For anyone that is trying to get stronger, I would not advise this at all. If anything, I would advise doing tricep work on a different day to chest. So maybe do it a bit differently. So you do chest and biceps, and do biceps afterwards, then back and triceps. So you're doing they're complete opposites. So a chest and a bicep workout, you're not using your bicep in a bench press or anything. If you are, it's very, very minimal compared to your tricep. The only possibility it might be is lowering it down, but then you can do that a little bit faster. It's the pushing movement that's going to be the real strain. So if you are going to double up days and you want to go for some more strength, you want to try and hit those PBs, which everyone wants to do, I agree, but at the end of the day, for me, I'm stronger than I look. So I can do things that I probably shouldn't be able to at the amount of time that I've been training, and the weight I am and the physique I've got. I can do things that I probably shouldn't, as I say. So I feel like I need to put on more muscle and focus on growing the muscle rather than necessarily putting strength on. Muscle size will come with strength, yes, but not as quickly. And I don't know whether that's a myth or something, but I'm going to watch out for it for now. I'm going to still stick to the bodybuilding style of training because that's the one I enjoy more. I feel like when I do 1 or 2 reps and then doing it for 8 sets, I really don't enjoy it as much. And this is another part of training that you've got to understand, is that, okay, we might tell you this is really good for that, but at the end of the day, they're all good exercises. Okay, some of them are better than others. For example, a bench press is going to be better than using a machine, for example. But at the same time, they're all good. They're all going to do something, it's just how quickly they do something. So remember, any workout is a good workout. Make sure you enjoy your workouts. Because the moment you stop enjoying them, trust me on this, I've done it, I stopped enjoying them for a little bit and I just didn't want to go. I would go in, and funnily enough, it's when I first started dating Kels, and with Kels, I was more interested in going home and talking to her, which, even though it was on the phone, seemed more appealing to me. So I'd go in and I'd do the bare minimum on a workout and then head home. Fortunately, now that I've changed up to the mornings, I can do both, but I'm actually not on the phone to her right now, but we'll, I don't know, if she calls, I'll cut this, but yeah, so as I say, enjoy your workouts, definitely do that, because you do spend a lot of time down there, and if you don't notice you're spending a lot of time down there, then you're probably doing something right, you're probably having a good time, and it will encourage you to do it more, especially when the results come as well. So you're doing something you enjoy, you're getting good results out of it, and okay, the food side of it can suck a little bit. I personally quite enjoy it, but I'm talking in a general perspective of things. You know my views on dieting and foods and things. It's what I can do with my body, and I like seeing the changes and what my body can handle and what it can't handle. Which, as I mentioned the other day, I have epilepsy, so I do have to be a little bit careful with the things that I do, because I don't actually know what triggers it. So I can watch flashing lights fine. I've been in stressful situations. I've had lack of sleep. So I was discussing this with my doctor, Dr. Kimber, by the way, at Red Hill Hospital, and I was discussing it with him, and he said, basically my checkups, as you saw, if you follow me on Snapchat, you'll see that it said like 130, 135 is the length of my appointment. I said, have you any idea what triggers it? Because I'm personally not frightened by it. Like, it doesn't bother me. I will happily tell anyone. It doesn't put me in a disability category, meaning I can still do everything. Driving's a bit of a dodgy one on that. You have to be fit free for a year. Sorry, seizure fit. It's no longer politically correct term apparently. So you have to be seizure free for a year, which I am. So if I could afford it, I would go and learn how to drive. People around me, it's what I care about, is Kels, my mum, my gran, all those sorts of people all go, what do we do if it happens? What happened? Is the medication working? That's another one. Is the medication working? I don't know. It's all trial and error until it is working until it messes up. So it's like anything. Until it messes up, you don't actually know if it's working. You assume it's working, but you don't know. So, I detoured a little bit there, but as I say, I asked him what causes it. He said he had absolutely no idea. It can vary from a range of different things. The common ones are lack of sleep, stress, and flashing lights. But he said it could be something you've eaten. It could be something very minute that you didn't even notice at the time. It could be pushing yourself to a different limit. It could be anything. It's something that's going to add a chemical or something to your brain that will just change your brain or change your mindset, where it sort of goes, ugh. Because all epilepsy is, and I know that this is a way off topic. I know I was talking about contractions and things in your muscles, but just out of like pure interest, say if that's the receptors to your brain, so you're trying to get a signal from here, from each one of these points to each one of these points, they're meant to go like that, so they fit perfectly. What epilepsy is it sort of goes like that, so you're missing two, or that bit goes to there instead of going to there. So your body sort of goes, what does this mean? So it just goes off into a spasm. That's basically what epilepsy is. So mine physically causes me seizures. It can come in all sorts of forms. Where when I was younger, I had a thing called juvenile absence epilepsy. Now this is one that people don't expect. Absence epilepsy is you literally just sit there or stand there or just you're blank. So it's like you're daydreaming, but it's instant. I used to call them blankouts because simply I would just blank out. And I thought it was just overtired or something. But when it really sort of went to the point where actually, do you know what, I need to go to the hospital, is I was in the middle of Brighton, crossing a road. In the middle of the road, I had a blankout. And I was with my mate's parents and my mate as well. And they pooped themselves. And so that's when I first got it checked out. If you are watching this and your child does that, it might be that. Just a little side note. But anyway, back to the interesting stuff. I find that interesting, but I'm sure you guys actually don't care. So enjoying your workout is important. Making sure the contraction of the muscle is also important. When I was training with Matt last night, it took me back to, like, it almost sort of did a rewind in my brain of all the things that I've learned over this time, and it is difficult to come from this standpoint, and I can't imagine what it's like when you've been training 10, 15 years to come back and teach someone from scratch. It just sort of reminded me that actually, do you know what, I do know a lot, and when I am talking in a YouTube video, I'm assuming that you know these things too. So what you want to do is you want to have complete control over the weight at all times. Even though it may seem like I'm throwing it up or whatever, I have complete control with my chest or with whatever muscle I'm working. The rest of me has zero control over it. And the muscle that I work is where it's coming from. And it does have zero control over it. Matt pointed this out yesterday. I was doing a tricep rope pushdown, which is that one. And I said, oh, this is cheating. And this is doing it properly. And he said, I can't actually see a difference with that. So, okay. So I sort of had to explain it to him that I was using the force from my back and my shoulders to push it down, then coming back up and doing exactly the same again. So I was using momentum, which is what you want to cut out. And by doing that, you're going to get better results and target that muscle more, and you're less prone to injury. Also, another thing that I pointed out to him is whenever he was doing it, he was always like this. He was rounded over, shoulders were forward. I said, look, poke your chest out, bring your shoulders back, poke your chest out, and stick your stomach tight, and you'll do it better. or regardless of what exercise it is, it's going to work for everything. So that is always something to remember. It's a lot. There's a couple of videos that I always used to watch when I was practicing my form. First off, it was by Victor Martinez. Now, if you don't know who Victor Martinez is, he's IFBB Pro, which International Federation of Bodybuilding. So he's a professional bodybuilder. He's jacked as anything. He's massive. A lot of guys that are watching this might get a little bit put off by that, but remember, to get to his stage, he had to first go through where you wanted to get to. So you're there, you want to go there, he's there. Had to go through there. Simple. So follow the techniques of the overly jacked guys, because they've had to get their results faster than the guys that are just sitting at that point and happy with it. So if you follow the extremes, then you'll get to where you want to be quicker. Top tip. But he does a lot of videos on form and how to do things, and it's very interesting. He gives you very, very detailed insight on how to do it. So definitely go check those out. I will try and find the links. If I can't, I'm sorry. You'll just have to search Victor Martinez workout tutorials or something like that. But if you listen to him, he will give you a very, very detailed explanation of what he's doing and why he's doing it. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. I've talked a lot here. Talked. I've talked a lot here about, as I say, different things. First of all, the epilepsy thing is, if you guys do take the piss out of it in the comments, go for it. It's not going to fuss me. Trust me, my best friends take the mick out of it and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't make a big difference to me. If you want, go ahead. I'm not going to get annoyed by it. It's not a disability. It's not something... I mean, okay, there are some people that it is classed as a disability before because they can't do things with it. I'm lucky in the sense where I'm nowhere near that severe. I've had 2 my whole life, and I'm not touchy about it. So any questions, if I know the answer, I will answer it. If not, then I won't. For anyone that's wondering, the 2 times I've had a seizure, one was sitting in this desk chair actually, but I used to have it over there. And another time was at the gym that I went to the other week. Even when I was talking about my first gym, I had one there, and that's why I left, because it was the middle of the day and I was pretty embarrassed from it as well. So it isn't a nice thing to watch, but at the same time, it's not something I can help. I don't remember it. It doesn't hurt me until afterwards, really. If you bite your tongue, it freaking hurts. Another misconception that people don't think you can swallow your tongue. You can't. It's a load of crap. You just don't breathe whilst having a seizure. So when you're having a seizure, you don't breathe. Your body doesn't know how to breathe. Hence why the lips go blue. They will come round soon, probably, hopefully. There are some severe cases where they don't, which I'm fortunate enough never to have. But yeah, so that's another little myth there. Anyway, I'm going to go before I carry on talking too much. It's already been almost 20 minutes of me talking about absolute crap, so I hope I haven't bored you too much. I'm going to hit a leg and shoulder workout tomorrow. Probably not going to squat. We'll find out if I want to, depending on how my back's feeling tomorrow morning. England are on tonight, so the England in the Euros. Again, we're playing Croatia, which should be the best game of the group. Hopefully England will win. I'll tell you about that tomorrow. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and comment, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow morning.